hate to keep quoting Doug Royston, but I do
I like
it
Doug.
shamelessly.
I know Doug well.
He's an awesome guy. He said there's an ancient word called rocha, and it's the word, and this goes back as far as Homo sapiens does, and that word, the concept of it is this: once somebody is them, we're us, then we've divided humanity to them and us, and this dichotomy in our thinking. The end of that road is violence. Might as well kill them before they kill us. Not everybody goes to the end of that road, but once you've decided that somebody else is them and we're us, whatever you do to them is justified because, it's them. They were going to do it to us probably because human nature, you can be counted on to find that bottom, that lowest common denominator. So when we get into that habit, then we find ourselves kind of caught up in groupthink that maybe we are taking actions that we maybe wouldn't normally take, except that it's a habit. Somebody made us mad, and they didn't really. It's our choice, and it's our choice to hang around with all the people that get mad at the same thing. And it's basically, Denny Sims wrote about this very eloquently. It's essentially two different mountains. These guys are over here on this mountain, and these guys are over here on this mountain. One of the ways we got into this place, this is one of those benign things that were designed to be good for us. But there's a guy that has a TED Talk about filtered bubbles. And it's the internet, in the early days of the internet, when it first started out, we have access to all of humanity's information. So we got to have some kind of funnel, some kind of filtering process. So they started writing these algorithms so that we request something, and the most likely to work for us comes to us. Right? So that was designed to be helpful. Where it has turned into, I'm afraid, is these filter bubbles where the data, in other words, in order for that to work, it's not magic, there has to be something in the database. So that mostly is what you've clicked on before. Some of it's your geographic area data, your gender, who you are, and that's how the internet decides what to send you. But for the most part, it's what you've clicked on before, what you are emotionally engaged with. It will bring you more and more and more of that. And as we get separated, the analogy in the radio world is the end of the Fairness Doctrine. It was, I think, 96 Telecommunications Act, 96 Telecommunication Act of 1996. It used to be a law that if you gave the Republicans 1 minute, you had to give Democrats another minute. If you had this person on, you had to have that person on. And that went away with some deregulation about other stuff. And it went away, and it gave rise to the idea that these guys listen to this group of radio stations and TV stations. These guys, hear these radio stations and TV stations. Tend not to be very much crosstalk because you can find out everything they think by listening to your guys. Right? and that's kind of how that works. And what happens is, going back to these filter bubble concepts, you get what you seek out. You get more and more and more of a confirmation bias on steroids. You get more and more of what you already agree with. Pretty soon, any little thing that doesn't rhyme or mimic exactly what you're consuming, you want to talk about getting a good diet? This is where we're at. This is what you consume. You are what you eat. That goes for stuff in your brain too.
That's right.
So you can steadily consume. And this is a critical thing I would like to point out. I'm going to look dead in both cameras' eyes. I'm going to go cross-eyes doing this. But I am not advocating that anybody give up their position, their side, their political hold. My advocacy is 100%. Let's have better quality conversation. That's it in a nutshell. That's the whole thing. I don't want anybody that feels strongly about any issue to feel less strongly about it, but it's important that we talk as adults and we exchange ideas. And what's happened here